voted, they can't get the car. No care how hard you work. Because if another person comes, a young man that has voted in the last by-election, or the parish council, and you have your good grandson and you work for me from me come here, me can't give me, I have to go give the man vote. I'm telling you that. When you have your children and your grandchildren and your grandson, them, make them go for vote.
Bless up, ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Isabel Rose. And in this one, People's National Party spokesperson speaks out on the phased reopening of the Cornwall Regional Hospital Administrative Department, as well as Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, Jamaica Labour Party sitting MP for South Trelawney, says no vote, no help, as well as Minister of Justice Drvnk rejects the call for the return of the political ombudsman to stand as an independent body. Stay tuned for the details at hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for the continued support. So, ABR family, we've seen the government, mainly the Ministry of Health, had put on a function with invitees to the phased reopening of Cornwall Regional Hospital. And same was for the administrative department. And we know that the Cornwall Regional Hospital has been under renovation / refurbishing for quite some time now. What should have cost our taxpayers $2 billion has now cost us $20-odd billion. And the Minister of Health says this is not an overrun, but he used a different term. But we've seen many arguing that this function was not necessary and that it is indeed wasteful, to put on a function just to open the administrative part of the hospital. Why not wait for, sections where patients can actually get, health care to do all of that? And so people are looking at this as a big gimmick and a PR stunt. And so I would love to know the cost to put on this function just to open the administrative block of the Cornwall Regional Hospital. And what says you, ABR family and viewers? Do you think that this should have been done, wasting more of taxpayers' money to do something like this, when the administrative block is not even, say, it's a ward that will have patients being there, having the space, getting the health care? What says y'all? But I want you to hear from Janice Allen, the spokesperson for the People's National Party and who is also a candidate.
So I'm here at the Cornwall Regional Hospital for what was a major PR event put on by the Ministry and the Western Regional Health Authority. So they're having a ceremony right now for the opening of the administrative block, which is really the CEO's office and some support staff, procurement, accounting. And I think many people, when they saw the notice board about the opening of Cornwall Regional Hospital, they might have thought that it was for patients and all of that, but no, it's really about a section of the hospital. And the minister today was at pains to say that there's misinformation out there about what the hospital has cost. And he was at pains to say that there was not a cost overrun, but a rescoping. And there's a difference between cost overrun and scoping. But whatever it is, we know that billions of dollars have been spent or allocated or both. And we have no hospital, at least nowhere, no beds are in this building behind me. So where are we with all of this? A lot of PR, a lot of talk, a lot of confusion. What we know as people in Western Jamaica is that we do not have the Cornwall Regional Hospital. We have not had it for a number of years. The minister even went as far as to say if it wasn't for COVID, the hospital would be finished. Another excuse, another reason, another story being spun. But for us as citizens of this region, our concerns are still not being met. We are still without the facilities, and everybody we know in Montego Bay, in St. James, in the western part of Jamaica, all have a story of somebody who has had to come here and stay in a chair, wheelchair, or recliner for multiple days. We all have a story, whether it's a family member, a neighbor, or a friend, and we know what the reality on the ground is. The reality is not pretty. And I mean, just last night I was out there speaking to people who have had experience, just talking about healthcare and lack of access to quality healthcare, reliable healthcare. That is the concern. At this time, I still want to give credit to the doctors, the nurses, all of the support staff who have worked under extreme and unfortunate circumstances still to deliver the best that they can deliver. We have to encourage them and thank them for their service. But the reality is that they have been put under this for many years, and a lot of money, billions of dollars have been spent, billions of dollars still being spent, and still we have no completion. So another PR move, and we, the PNP, believe that it should be people over PR, not PR over people. And right now we're seeing a lot of PRing going on right now, but it is what it is. It's what we've become used to by this government. And right now, when the PNP comes to power, we're going to make sure that much of what we see here is fully investigated, and we let the chips fall where they may.
Anyhow, in this segment, we've seen the South Trelawney MP Marissa Dalrymple Philibert under the radar again. And who again exposing her? The People's National Party candidate for South Trelawney, no other than Paul Patmore. And this time he exposed her, basically telling the Labour Rights that if they don't vote, they won't get any help. Listen this for yourself.
With the laborers, listen to me. So what I'm doing now is looking for the people who every election go and then never get a card again. And I would like to help to give those people. Because every vote have the same weight. And I'm going to tell you now, if you are in the area and you are a worker and you have been taking out a whole lady from a home from Wappy Club and you're not sure if they get nothing, take the person's name and KRN number. And if they're old and not have to take them down the KRN number and go to the office in and say, Miss Basic, and if they have get fine, anything about them, and let us see how we can help. So that is what you have to do. Now, not saying all those who have their grandsons and their sons, if they have not voted, they can't get the job. Now, care how hard you work. Because if another person comes, a young man that has voted in the last by-election, or in the parish council, and you have your good grandson and you work for me from me come here, me can't give me, I have to go give the man vote. I'm telling you that. When you have your children and your grandchildren and your grandson them, make them go for vote. Yes. Because plenty people have vote. And if you vote, me I will give you before you vote.
And so my question to the Labour Rights, or to all well-thinking Jamaicans, this is what y'all sit and vote for. This is what you want to represent, you know. People will go come to you and say if you don't vote, that means that they don't even care about the people them that are not into the politics. And so that's why I keep imploring y'all, it is very important that you go out this election and vote. We've seen all that they have been doing in the whole campaign season to the People's National Party representative, from, basically taking down their posters and their billboards to basically vandalizing same. It has happened to Danishka Williams, it has happened to even Janice Allen, it has happened to Paul Patmore, and it has happened to Andre Haughton. And we've seen Danishka, the candidate for the People's National Party down there in Southwest St. Anne's, calling for the government to basically, repeal the whole act of putting or subsuming the political ombudsman into the ECJ. We've seen Cafe calling on them. That's the group that deals with fair election, calling on them to repeal same. We're seeing also other entities and other body calling on them. And lo and behold, the government has responded, and no other than the Justice Minister, Drvnk, stated that no, we are not going back. So he basically rejected the call for the political ombudsman to be that independent, standalone body. And it was indeed Chuck who was the government's point man in getting the Political Ombudsman Act in 2024 passed February that saw the political ombudsman being subsumed into the ECJ. He quoted, "When we remove the independent political ombudsman and subsume it under the Electoral Commission, it was well considered by the government, and therefore there won't be any consideration of removing the political ombudsman or changing the laws that were amended last year." He also added that since the role of the political ombudsman was taken over by the ECJ, Jamaicans have gone to the polls in a local government election and a number of by-elections with no word from the Commission on any complaints it received or any action it initiated against those who breached the political code of conduct. And if y'all could remember back in the whole local government election, there was flare-up too. But then we didn't hear from the ECJ, and that doesn't mean that there wasn't any complaint. But due to the fact that the ECJ has other things doing as it pertains to the whole electoral function of the ECJ, it made no sense to subsume, the role of the political ombudsman there so as to have some sort of political rivalry there when there should be a balance when it comes on to the whole convention of the ECJ. Even Carl Samuda, one of the MP on the government side, asked them not to tamper with the ECJ. Even a former ECJ chairman asked them not to tamper with the ECJ and that they must not break the convention. Even the People's National Party was against the whole political ombudsman being subsumed in the ECJ. So I don't know what this minister is really talking about. And since the ECJ have subsumed that role, the political ombudsman section has been silenced. And so, ABR family, I would love to hear from you all. Let us continue this discussion down there in the comment section. I really want to hear from y'all. What says y'all as it pertains to the minister saying all of this and the whole function being held to open just the administrative block of the Cornwall Regional Hospital with no ending sight as to when definitively that the hospital will be up and running in the entire capacity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel on the road to 30K and beyond. Help me to get there, ABR family. Play your part. Get this video to at least 7,000 likes. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself.